Hey, ladies and gentlemen. What a day, what a day, what a day. It's a nice day. Got my bubbly black cherry water and my bubbly lime water. And got me a jicama. And pretty good. It's bubbly. Got me a tool. I'm going to cut me a piece of jicama. Cut me a piece of nice jicama. My late grandmother, before she died a couple of years ago, and I was still young guy, young man. It was one time, it was during a Christmas or Thanksgiving one year that saw these little sticks. My grandmother said they're jicama sticks. Jicama. This is a jicama. It's an Indian root. It's like a Indian potato. Indians during the time would dig them up, take a bite. Because these were Indians in the prairies and shit like that. They would eat these, and they get kind of plurs with hydration. These were pretty good, and talk about the Arapaho, the Apache, the Utes. I don't know if it's Utes, but thinking it's the Cherokee, the Utes in Utah, the Hopis, the Navajo. These were good for them. And I'm using a small, not a little knife, just a little small thing, a little tiny thing. And just but these are good though. These are really good. You know, I remember going to the swamp meet. I would get the biggest one they had. I used to eat it all by myself. It didn't need to cut it. So later, but I ate by myself. My grandmother, my great grandfather was half Sioux. My great grandmother, my grandma's grandma, was full-blooded Sioux. From Nebraska. My grandparents, my great grandfather, my great grandmother are all from Nebraska. My great grandmother, my grandpa's mom, was a school teacher in McCook County, Nebraska. My great-grandfather, my grandpa's father, was a school superintendent named Granville Jones. He was a member of the Odd Fellows. And tall guy, black hair. And my mother, and my grandfather were from McCook County in Nebraska. My father, originally from Hanford, California, his parents were from Mexico, were political refugees from Mexico. And I have some aunts and uncles that are from Mexico. I had a late aunt that passed away a few years ago. About 9 years ago. It'll be 9 years in November. She's from Mexico herself. And my grandmother, my late grandmother, was a homemaker. My grandfather was he worked in the fields, and my father was born in Hanford 71 years ago. It'll be 71 years this May. So the reason I'm mentioning the jicama is that it's a lesson you learn over time about the Native American Indians, the Plains Indians, the Indians from Arizona through New Mexico, Texas, up to Oklahoma, throughout the Midwest from Texas up to North Dakota, into the Montana territory. Now I am part Sioux. My half, no. My full, no. I am about 8/10 Sioux. Not very much, but yeah, through my grandmother and through my great grandfather, who's half Sioux. Damn it. And now these young overgrown children these days are completely mentally useless. And you see them going around joining these little ideological cults like Antifa and BLM. See, BLM and Antifa are cults. Nothing more, nothing less. They're cults. Yeah, they're cults. And when you join a group in a college, you're joining a cult. You're joining a cult. See, our government is a cult. Every government that goes to war against someone who's not a threat, looking for control that region, it's a cult. Cult of personality. Here we go. Almost done here. So gotta get this here. This is a nice shaped jicama. Nice shaped. And I want to cut a piece here. Cut a piece. Let's close this. Pretty good. Real good. Now, my grandparents, they came here during the war, were political refugees prior to World War II. They went to Texas first, and I had some uncles that went to Vietnam, Korea. My dad wanted to join the Air Force, but he couldn't because of his feet. That would be considered that would be considered a 4F. 4F. If you look it up. Now, it's good. Now the Indians that would dig up the root, cut a piece, it's considered a root, like a potato. Now the jicama, pretty good. Now, if you go to the nearest market, so like a flea market, you can get them for good. Depends on how much per pound. But yeah. It's real good. These can help you. These are equivalent, say, drinking water. Really good. You get a lot of water out of these if you bite. They're like really good. Really good. Now, well, I'm going to do this. And I am going to say it. If you're offended by it, I don't give a fuck. I have zero fucks to give to any weak-minded individual. Now, there's a movie called Network. There's a scene where this minister really starts preaching the truth, starts preaching things, you know, like you see people watching the TV, family all sitting around watching the tube, and while you're watching the tube, you see consumerism. right? Consumerism. These ads for, say, TV. Back in the day, they used to have, back in the 60s, I'll say back in the about, say, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 60s, even in the early 70s, they would, well, mostly the 60s, by then, they had commercials for cigarettes, like Lucky Strike, or Marlboro, or Camel, right? Well, they had to stop doing that because kids picking up. Now, candy, I remember they had candy cigarettes, right? I'm a Gen Xer. I remember those days where you go to the nearest convenience store, and you go to the candy section, you see these packs of candy cigarettes, which they don't sell no more because the company was forced to stop making them. Now, over time, you only see commercials for alcohol, like Coors, Bud, Billy Beer. And so, it's pretty good. Now, the thing is, as I'm eating this, Native Americans used to eat these. Would eat these. Ride on horseback for days. They start to get dehydrated. So they would dig these up. They would slice a piece, and or just eat it as is, like an apple, Now, crap. Come on. Now, some of you little agents of chaos aren't learning very much because you got teachers that are assholes. They want to indoctrinate you into what they've been indoctrinated with. They want you to become cult members in their little pansy cult, And they want to get you to do what they're doing because they think, well, if you hide it from mom and dad, they'll never know. One minute you're a boy, then one moment you go home, you're wearing a fucking dress, and you got a pathetic pronoun and a pathetic name that they give you. See, liberal teachers are going to do what they want to do based on their belief, not on their job of teaching math and science and literature and shit like that. Like, there's a guy in Sacramento a few years ago. He got fired. He got fired for having radical communist things on the classroom walls. And he wanted to indoctrinate the kids. He said, I have 20 days to get the kids indoctrinated. But when the parents found out, parents were pissed. And the guy was fired. He was fired. Because he was spewing his pathetic ideology on his students when he should be teaching math, science, economics, And not to teach your kids that all cops kill black people. Or we want to change you because your mommy and daddy are MAGA supporters. That bullshit. Well, one thing I saw made me happy. Okay? Now, if this went on back in the day, you as a teacher lose your license, right? Lose your license, okay? Be fired, lose your license, and sued. And the school board will be forced to ask a lot of questions, because why is a teacher or teachers try to get the students to become woke, to be transgender, to be something that they were born and they're not. Now, I will say, now, if this happened in the 80s, I'll tell you what, us Gen Xers, we would walk out. We would walk out until the teacher was fired. We would go to school, but we would refuse to enter the classroom. Why? Gen X will never, ever tolerate this shit. Never, ever. Because that's not how our parents raised us. Our parents raised us to be thinkers. Think for ourselves. And that's exactly what these ginsult, wolf-headed teachers don't want you to do, is think for yourself. They want to remove your identity. Remove the reason for who you are. Again, if we had those kind of teachers in our classroom, we would never set foot in that room again. Until the school board pulls their head out of their ass and fire this motherfucker. You fire this piece of shit, or we ain't going to go in the classroom. Because Gen X, we're rebels. We are rebels. And we take no shit from anybody. You know? The thing is, history taught us that we have a right to rebel. Rebel against unjust. You know? Like, rebel against unlawful laws that are unlawful. Like, for example, you walking down the street, mind your own business, right? Minding your own business, and a cop stops and wants to talk to you. Yes, you talk. Are you obligated? Are you obligated to talk to a cop? No. You keep moving. The reason that is because they want to do a stop and frisk. They want to do a stop and frisk on you. But the cop has no probable cause. The cop has no reasonable, articulate suspicion. They would need probable cause. See, law enforcement too, it's called law enforcement, government, right? Government, Antifa, BLM, cults, like the Illuminati, Freemason, Mormon, Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a cult. See, if you were a member of the congregation of the Jehovah's Witnesses, they would have you thinking, oh, Jesus died or not? Jesus died. Stop. If you were going to the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses, now for the longest time, since we were all born and went to church, we learned and knew that Jesus Christ died on the cross. But to the Jehovah's Witnesses think that Jesus Christ died on a stake. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses are a cult. Religion's a cult. Scientology is a cult. Who do they worship? Right? They worship L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard is a Satanist. He was taught by Aleister Crowley, along with Anton LaVey and another guy who's a a retired general. He was not just a Satanist, but also a pedophile. Now, if you had a parent or grandparent that was stationed at the Presidio in Frisco, San Francisco, okay. Now, if you were stationed at Presidio and you had a kid that went to the daycare, there was a good chance your kid would be molested by Michael Aquino. See, the U.S. Army, the military, started to recognize that Satanism is a religion. Bullshit, it's a cult. It's a cult. It's a cult. Michael Aquino was the third guy besides Ron Hubbard and Anton LaVey. All three were Satanists. Scientology is basically a tax exempt status cult. So, any member of the Church of Scientology, you are a cult member. You are a cult member. You are a straight up a fucking cult member. Right? Because the guy that founded your religion wasn't just a failed writer of science fiction, but he was a student of Aleister fucking Crowley. Anton LaVey, his church didn't get a tax. I say it a what was it called? A tax. Technically, the Church of Satan wasn't really a tax exempt status church. It was not. It didn't have the tax exempt status. Just a church, you know. And so, in 1992, years after the death of L. Ron Hubbard, David Miscavige, through some shady shit, Scientology became a tax exempt status church. Now, what would happen if Scientology had to lose that status, right? Because as a church, if you lose that status, you had to pay taxes. Exactly. You had to pay tax, right? So technically, all that money that was going to go towards L. Ron Hubbard's family is now going to the family of David Miscavige. See, L. Ron Hubbard had this will. He picked two people to take his place. right? So, if you're a member of Scientology, tell me I'm wrong. Prove that I'm wrong. Now, L. Ron Hubbard had this will that he set up. He already had 2 people picked out, all set. David Miscavige was only 22 years old when he died. He had a 9th grade education and a member of the Sea Org. He started to build up a following within the church. He was planning his move. He's been running that church for nearly 40 years. Okay. Now the thing is, you have these overgrown children who are indoctrinated in this fucking church and other means as well. You really got to understand what history is and what's about. See, schools. See, a lot of things that we should be learning in schools were removed. And John D. Rockefeller, who spent $138 million towards education, because he wanted to use that. Oh, Lizzie, damn it. Oh, you crazy dog. Lizzie, come on. Lizzie. Leave the kitty alone. Leave her alone, okay? Leave her alone. Okay? Here's the babies. Come on. 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 Now, we have these overgrown children going to these overpriced daycare centers called colleges and shit. Not learning a goddamn thing. Not learning a goddamn thing. Because they're being indoctrinated into left-wing politics. Especially far left-wing politics. If you were a conservative, no matter if you were a Republican or independent or libertarian, they would try to find ways to, even if they find out you're a conservative, they're going to say, well, I hate this person now. Honestly, we don't give a fuck if you hate us or like us. We don't care. See, I'm not following any wing politics. I don't care if it's far left or left. I don't care if it's right or far right. I'm in the middle. And I will be that way for a long, long time. See, politics and ideologies don't mean shit. Do not mean shit. Never did, never will. It's all bullshit. This is bubbly, sparkling lime water. Lime. So, the thing is, see, when I'm speaking to you guys, some of the stuff these young agents of idiocracy and chaos are missing out. Missing out big time. Why? Because certain part of education was removed over a century ago. Way over a century ago. Why? Because some deceased dumb fucks spent nearly $148 million to alter education system. Because he wants to indoctrinate loyal, obedient workers. Just smart enough to do the job, but dumb enough to take the low pay, low wage, no overtime, no anything. Just work until you're dead. Until you're dead. See, his plan was to have parents to raise good babies to be dead soldiers. He wants us parents to raise babies to be dead soldiers. It's a fact. My name is Reverend Ordo, and this has been the Anonymous Mando'Ade Network. Comment below. Hit the bell for notification. Share this video. And always live healthy, happy, and wise. I mean healthy and wise. Think for yourself, folks. To every liberal and progressive neocon rhino, go fuck yourself and a horse you rode in on, you motherfucker. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Godspeed. Buddha bless.